So what is up, guys? Before we get started with this video, if you want to know more about Metalborgs, you go watch set 17 prediction video. If you want to go learn more about the Liberators, you go watch the set 19 prediction video, and I'll leave links for those down below. Metalborgs is like the first topic, and I think Liberators was the second topic in the second video, so keep that in mind. Those are your stamps, so just fast forward till you get to the part where we talk about libs, because I actually set 17, the set 18 prediction video is legit starting with Metalborgs, that was our first discussion. Without further ado, let's see what the rest of the cards that are going to be in this set. Cycle of Dust Isaiah. During your main phase, when a card is put into your soul, if your Vanguard's Legion, this becomes a 12k, so when a card goes into the soul, becomes a 12k. Nice. So Amon Leader Astaroth becomes a 21k Legion. If this unit is Legion, this unit gets +1 crit for every 10 cards in your soul, because it could stack up to legit. If you have 30 cards in your soul, you have a 4 crit unit. Wow. Then it has another effect. When your opponent's rear guard is put into your drop zone due to the effect of one of your cards, if you have another unit with a Monon's card name in the middle column, which you will because his Legion may count as a middle column, Soul Charge 3. So you have a chance to Soul Charge 3, and not only that, I found this out the other day, which is actually really cool. Since you Legion with Amon, you actually get Amon's effect. You technically will have 2 Vanguards in the middle, and actually Amon's retire effect, where he prioritizes the back row, is going to be able to be used, which is cool. That's actually really neat. So some of these Legion mates can actually use the other Legion mates' effect. If it's an act effect from the looks of it, because the on-place effects won't work, that's why Blaster Blade Seeker doesn't activate when you Legion, because he's an on-place, not when seeking the mate. So that's what I like about Legion a little bit more. We're going to be able to use some effect units, and that's going to be really, really nice to play out. I like it. It's good to see that. It's good to see that there's actually more effects when you Legion with the G3s, so you get a little bit more bang for your buck. I like. Psychic of Ash, Hadar. Legions with Isaiah. If this unit attacks a Vanguard and it's at Legion, so this is continuous. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, this unit gets 5,000 power. Then if the number of cards is 10, choose 2 of your units and then you can give him a 10k column. So again, power creep column, no trigger necessary, so this definitely isn't such a bad unit. Also has a Soul Blast 1 grade 0, Soul Charge 2. Obviously they're going to take the grade 0 effect out and maybe change it, the whole Soul Blast 1 to something else. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, but this ain't even a Amon follower, so don't keep that in mind. Apparently there is a psychic set, apparently. Like some of these are like one-time psychic support. I don't know why. Anyways, here's another Legion name, Psychic of the Storm Reginald. Counterblast 2, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is Legion, and the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, you may pay the cost. Choose 2 of your opponent's back rows, because this is Zero's format. Retire them. Then if the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, one of your opponent's rear, you can retire another one, so you can retire 3 for CB2 if there's 15 or more cards in the soul. Very easy to achieve. And then this card also has a Persona Soul Blast effect. You Soul Blast one of the card names in your soul that represents the G2 Isaiah or this guy, and then you Soul Charge 5. Really nice. That can be used in Zero's format. That's actually achievable due to the amount you Soul Charge with Amon and the followers. Amon follower, Birdmaid Grace. So Amon actually gets a new Forerunner. The fact is, you CB1, rest this unit if you have a Vanguard with Amon in its card name. Soul Charge 2, choose one of your units with Amon in its card name, and until the end of the turn, that unit gets 1,000 power per soul. Per unit in the soul. So again, 20 cards equals a 20,000 column. Pretty useful if you're hitting them with a solid crit, which means you can almost guarantee that next hit, because the max they can go up to is 2,600. So 20,000 to any unit with a booster with 20,000 power isn't so bad. So there could be a deck around this for sure, using this Forerunner, where you even smack your opponent with a crit, and you're going to power creep a column for a CB1, and just go really ham with it. Obviously, you can give this to Gwen too, but it's going to cost you a CB1. So you got to be a little bit more careful with your CB with this unit if you want to do those type of power plays where you're going to power creep a unit and smack your opponent with a crit. So you automatically do technically 3 damage since you did power creep one of your columns. It's nice. Amon's follower, Grassam. I don't know if this would actually come, but it's just a Counterblast 1. If your Vanguard is a nut of Amon, and if there are 6 or more cards in your soul, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. I don't think they'll make this, but it's a nice thought. Amon's follower, Mad Eye. It's an LB enabler, so you can do your LB effects at Limit Break 3. That'd be nice. Actually, you just run this with Ragey. Funny, right? Funny joke. Yeah. And this just gets run with Ragey, but as you can tell, Game Studios did not allow any LB enablers, so there goes that out the pocket. Sad face. We're going to have to wait till G era before those things actually come, possibly. Amon has another follower named Hell's Nail. Counterblast 1, and then when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you get pay the cost if you do Soul Charge 3. Oh, look at that! It's when you attack a Vanguard you can Soul Charge 3. It didn't say you have to hit the Vanguard. So again, Soul Charging without hitting. Nice. Depends where you're at in the match, but obviously that's a good thought. I'll take it. You know, it's Amon's follower, and the fact that we can run chariots and carriages, keep restocking our deck, and then Legion our chariots back into the deck, and keep the cycle going, boys, and just have plenty of crits all on the board. Beautiful. So that's it for DI. On to OTT support, apparently. Very low OTT support. Battle Sister Pudding. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with a Battle Sister in its... See how this says rear guard, so the Legion thing? Yeah, now you get a little bit more of that action. Now you can understand that. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard that's Battle Sister, countercharge 1, which is nice, and then choose a unit and give it 3,000. I love that effect. This isn't going to change in Zero's format. This is awesome. This will stay in Zero's format, and I'm going to be excited to run Battle Sisters even more once we have a countercharger. It's going to be nice. Battle Sister Jaleli. Legions with Pudding. Counterblast 3, if this unit is Legion, you draw cards equal to the number of cards in the middle column, which is 3, and then you discard 1. Again, that helps Legion support. And then when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have another unit in the middle column, 3,000, so he gets his own little 23k cross-ride base on a defense check. So Jaleli, like we said, is going to need a little bit of a tinker, just a tiny bit. Maybe don't make it CB3. Maybe CB2 would be much nicer, but we'll see how that goes. Since we are technically discarding a card, so CB3, and then drawing 3, and then like pitching a card kind of feels like a minus to me. But that's just me, though. And apparently OTT had one more Legion, and this actually Legions with another G3 named Amaterasu. So Amaterasu has a Legion. Isn't that something? So let's go over this. Goddess of the Treasure Mirror, or Ruhime. So CB1, if this unit is Legion, declare a card name and reveal the top card of the deck. If the reveal card is the card you declared, Soul Charge 2. And then choose up to 2 cards from your damage zone and turn them face up. So you can reveal it, decide, and then, wait, can you decide? Counterblast 1, declare a card name, reveal top card. If the reveal card is the card you declared, Soul Charge 2. So, wow, Soul Charge 2. So you Soul Charge the declare card 2. Interesting. Then choose up to 2 cards from your damage zone and countercharge and turn them face up. Then if the real card has the same name as a unit on your Vanguard circle, so either one of these girls, draw 2 cards. So keep in mind, this is another one of those G3 fiestas where, believe it or not, Amaterasu's Vanguard effects are now in play again. And you can Mega Blast. That's the whole point. You're able to keep Mega Blasting, in a sense. Like, technically, since you can Legion, you can always Mega Blast. And you can recycle all your heals, all your PGs, and you keep going through that cycle of returning, so you don't miss out on that. Obviously, you won't know the top card until the next turn after you did the Legion. So obviously, you are bringing back those, what do you call it? What do you call it? The Magus things. The Magus cards, the 6Ks that look at the top card, so you know what it is, so you can do the effect. Interesting enough, that's actually going to be really good. Could you deck out? I mean, you technically can deck out if you make it a very aggressive deck. This deck can actually go very aggressive, believe it or not, because you can Soul Blast and because you can maximize draw power once you're at 4 damage, and you get a counter charge if you call right. Technically, you can go up to 4 and then go for big plays where you freaking draw cards. You technically can do this whenever you want, but this card actually shows a little bit more promise kind of in Zero's format. And I say that because, yeah, you really don't need to run, like, you know, draw triggers. I think you just get this card in general, and then you're good to go. Legion, and then you prep the play, get pushed to 4, draw all your PGs or whatever, and, you know, go for game. Everything just seems really nice if it comes down to. You can draw 6 cards if you need to, if it's the Persona Blast and so on and so forth. But still, it's nice to see that some of the G3 Vanguard effects do work. So this and Amaterasu are a fair game of drawing cards, but you have to Persona Blast one or the other. So as long as this is a crit check, you'll be good to go. Draw 2 cards. Obviously, I'm going to hate the Persona Blast because technically you have to Soul Charge the crit. So rip that if you want to draw it, and then you draw 2 cards. You have no choice but to follow the effect format. I wish some of this effect became a little bit more optional. So maybe you don't call the card, you don't even do the CB, you just hit him with a crit, and then if you have the 4 CB, you Mega Blast and draw cards. Something like that. So that's it for OTT. So yeah, less cards, but obviously this set is going to be filled with mostly Liberators, Metalborgs, and Witches, because Witches actually have a couple more cards that finish up the set. Barking Sky Tiger is a Pale Moon unit. When one of your units plays from the rear guard circle from your soul, if your Vanguard is Legion, this unit gets 3,000 power. This effect does stack, so again, you can power creep it like the Chimera and Silver Thorns. Cool. Cracking Beast Tamer. Like we said, this is going to need a freaking update. CB2, when this unit legions. God, I can't do it again. I have to re-ride. Hey, when this unit legions, you may pay the cost if you do Soul Charge 2, then choose 3 cards and call them. Also, you use this card with the old Dreamy tech. That's why Dreamy returns with this card in a sense for legioning. But I need a little bit more out of this card besides a once per turn crap. And if you're going to be the cover card, at least show me some promise, please. And thank you. That'd be great. We're really going to have to see how they actually update this card, because this is just liquored without a CB effect. Without being LB, and then you're just doing a liquor play. But you don't have to worry about grades. You can call anything you want, which is nice, but it's not enough for Zero's format. I have to wait and see how that goes, you know. Alright, we're done with that. On to our last topic, which is the Witch. The Witches. Inspection Witch Deirdre. Soul Blast 1, when this unit is placed. If you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent chooses a grade 0 from his or her drop zone and calls it. I have a problem with this because I don't want to use this on Kageros. That means I actually have to freaking kill. And not only that, you don't get to choose this. Your opponent chooses a grade and calls it. Oh no, okay, he has to put it in the front, but still, I mean, it's Conroe. Why would I let the opponent keep a Conroe? I'm always got to swing. Killing the intercept and putting his Conroe back doesn't help my case. I do not want him to keep Conroe, please and thank you. So obviously, I'm hoping this just becomes called Floaty G0 or something. Or, please, don't do this, you know? So she's definitely going to get reworked. Yikes. Witch of Reality Femme. This is the mate for one of the witches on the cover. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, becomes a 12k beat stick. There's a lot of those, actually. 10k power, just a vanilla witch. Alright, Cultist Witch Rias. This is another legion for witches that we're going to look at. Let's go over it, shall we? Choose one of your rear guards with Witch in its card name and retire it. When this unit legions, so you have to ride again, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and that unit gets minus 5,000 power for each of your grade 0 rear guards until the end of turn. So obviously how this is going to go is since witches do call G0s, you're retiring intercepts, and then you can give so much minus on the Vanguard, you guarantee yourself 3 attacks. It's like almost a better Zeal, because you don't have to worry about power creep in the rear guard. They get retired and get replaced with G0s. So this is actually really good for Zero's format. I like it. Very useful. I'm hoping, because she has this other effect where she says CB2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, your opponent reveals 5 cards, and then they have to choose a 0 from it and call it. So obviously, right now we're going to discuss this a little bit like here now. The fact that witches, the whole point to witches, actually we'll discuss that after we get to the rest of the cards. Give me a sec. Fiona, actually let me delete this one because I already have one for the end one. So we'll go over Fiona at the end. Which of the commons? Manissa is just a legion like any other common legion, gains 5,000 when it attacks Vanguard, and then if it's a rear guard, 2,000. So witches actually get a new Forerunner. Well, Shadows in a sense get a new Forerunner. Put this unit into your soul. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted, if your Vanguard is legioned, you may pay the cost. If you do search deck for up to 2 grade 0 cards, call the rear guards at rest and shuffle your deck. Obviously, you're not going to... Obviously, this is going to get either changed up or not even added, but I'm pretty sure they're going to change the effect to something else. Either calls like 2 floaty witch G0s. I don't know if more G0 witches did anything special. Maybe there'll be like special G0 witches that have effects. I don't know. We'll see. So usually Zero's format is pretty good on that, but this saying called Grade Zeros, and we all know how these Grade Zero cards get dealt with, they have to go through like a massive change for Zero's format. Which of the Black Doves going? During your turn, if your Vanguard with which in its card name is Legioned, this unit gets put this unit on top of your deck. If the number of opponents Grade Zero and rear guard is 2 or more, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards and it gets 5,000 power. Minus 5,000. So you minus 5,000 power, and then you shuffle your deck. So obviously this goes back in your deck, possibly acting as a trigger, hopefully. Hopefully it acts like a trigger. And then hopefully it acts like a crit trigger, because then that's just like a nice little crit in your deck that you can hit at any time. So this is good. I mean, hey, it's minus power, more on the Vanguard, and if they have more G0s, more power denial, you know, keep power reducing them, get them into the negative, swing with all your freaking rear guards, and just really say, ha, take that, your power is gone, ha ha ha. Which are the quests occur now? Choose one of your rear guards with which in its card name and retire it. When this unit is placed, if your Vanguard with which in its card name is Legioned, so obviously if Legion is continuous, and the number of Grade Zero rear guards your opponent has is 2 or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards. So again, Witches became the new Zeal, but it's on Vanguard, but the whole point of Witches is getting rid of intercepts anyways, so this power decrease makes sense where it's always guaranteed damage. It won't really matter if you get a trigger, it's going to matter if your opponent needs a trigger sack, but even if your opponent trigger sacks, it's still not going to be enough because they're going to eat 3 attacks. Period. It wouldn't really matter. They're going to eat 3 damage. It's really good. So back to our banner card here, Miss Femme over here, Fiona, which, like we said, Legion's with the 12k. If this unit is Legion, you counterblast 2, choose up 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent reveals 10 cards. From the top of their deck, choose Grade 0 cards equal to the number of rear guards. Choose amongst them. Call those 7 rear guards and shuffle their deck. Then you have another effect. Choose a rear guard with the same card name as the unit on your Vanguard circle. So 2 choices, the G3 or G2. If the number of Grade 0 rear guards your opponent has is 2 or more, because you did the freaking Legion effect, obviously this all adds up. And then you draw 2 cards, and this ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. So it's kind of like you're just replacing one without wasting CB because you did a Persona retire. I just call them Persona Soul Blasting and Persona Retiring. Whatever. Anyways, so let's go over Witches because this is very important. The whole point of Witches was to kill your opponent's triggers. I can see that now. Because they all want you to call from the deck G0s. So the more G0s you lost, the less you get a trigger, the less you got on defensive, and you just keep swinging at your opponent's Vanguard, and they have to just defend with the hand, which I understand. That's why Ria was like that, because obviously Rias was just really that good of a card for that type of format. I mean, hey, decreasing power, your opponent mostly has to defend from the hand, you're killing all their G0s if they're amongst a couple cards, which they might be, and if you hit their heal check, that's it. That's game. It's terrible. So a couple things Game Studio actually has to work around. Number one is, since these cards were really about triggers, would they just change it to G3s? Now, obviously, if they change it to G3s, I'm okay with that. But then I'm not okay with it because they're going to call my heal checks. But joke's on you, I already whiffed those anyway, so best you're calling my draw triggers. So pretty much you just lose those. But if they were going to revamp Witches, they either call floaty G0s, or they actually call the G3s, and then your opponent really loses triggers, and deck thinning is deck winning, and you're really killing the trig game there, so that's actually good too. So Witches could go any route right now. We don't know what's happening yet. All we know is we're looking at Witches now, and we notice they are big denial on triggers because they call them out of your deck and call them from your drop to replace units on the board. So your opponent really has nothing to defend with if they play their intercepts on the board, so on and so forth. So again, Witches, that's why they got a quintet wall too. But yes, to deal with Witches and how they will adapt it to Zero is going to be up in the air till the reveal. There's supposed to be a reveal at 9:30. We'll go over that a little later once they actually show us who's first. If they show Witches first, then we got a bigger glimpse at what these cards will do. But if they reveal the other stuff first, that's understandable as well. Liberators, everyone loves Liberators, woohoo. But yes, Witches was mostly about killing triggers. And when we get to that point, it's either they're going to call G3s or they're just going to call flow G0s. Obviously, calling flow G0s is fair game. It's fair. But then again, like I said, if they do the G3 thing, it just means your opponent has to retire those G3s by riding on top of them, and then he legions them so he can actually heal. So technically, you could kill your opponent's heal checks with Fiona there if you wanted to, because that's her whole game. I mean, listen, you're going for endgame. If they can't get a heal check and you did this effect, yeah, it's like they have nothing. They have nothing to their name, which is good. So you just go for game. So technically you eliminate the possibilities of your opponent getting a 6 damage heal. So that's actually really good. And actually, believe it or not, this CB2 isn't limited to once per turn, which I assume they will limit this to once per turn. Just saying. Well, obviously, if it just calls for G0s, obviously we're not going to waste it. We're just going to waste the CB2 to retire intercepts. But if it calls G3s, you bet your sweet ass I'm going to use this effect twice and get rid of all your possible heal checks coming up. Hell yeah! But we'll see how it gets played out. We don't know anything yet because Witches has had their own mechanic. Because Witches legit revolved around killing triggers. So we'll have to see how that actually plays out in Zero. Because Zero, our G3s are our triggers. So practically your opponent's calling our G3s. So again, we'll see how that really plays out. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what fully gets revealed. See what gets revealed tonight. Obviously, now we're at the end of this video. So let's discuss. Please update. Kind of want to test this because this goddess actually has some potential with Amaterasu. Jilei, hopefully they update you. Pudding, I would run you in every Battle Sister deck because you countercharge and you give power. I'll take that. Thank you. 3,000 power too. It's really good. I'm on Hell Nail. I'll definitely run you. You soul charge 3. Oh, it's beautiful. Maybe a Forerunner test before I assume that I would even test that. Regiel's not so good. Hadar for power creep moments. Ain't too bad if you have retired units like Gwen and stuff. You might think about that. But Astaroth might be really freaking stupid due to the fact he could use Amon's effect. So your opponent legit has to play back rows, or you can retire a front row for a CB1. Free! Free. So that's interesting, guys. That's interesting. I'm glad we can bring you some more Legion news on that matter when it comes to G3s. So I'm excited. Hopefully we see some more in-depth conclusion with this tonight. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm sorry we made this premiere later, but it was okay. Didn't mean to do that to you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the wait. Peace out.